Since the computer is not in front of me, I think I'll just type this way. When we talk about self-development in mainstream, we're talking about filling a gap or a lack in a person. So you have institutions or organizations sending people to what they call self-development courses or whatever. And they tell us that it can build. This is to build the human capital, to facilitate their employability, in the sense that you get developed in a way that you can better work at what you do, or get promotion or whatever, but in the work field. And they also say it enhances the quality of life and contributes to the realization of aspirations. This means that when you develop yourself, you will probably get a better job and get better paid and be able to satisfy your needs or your wants and desires maybe, and aspirations. It also goes further to say that you will improve your awareness and identity. If you're working in a certain setup, you are going to be more aware of where you're working, and also develop a sense of identity with the group in which you work or the community in which you live. And of course, it talks about developing talents and potential. When you come to self-discovery or self-rediscovery, like I said, this is coming from yourself. It's coming from your inside. And it helps you to rediscover yourself, your true self. And once you discover your true self, you have control over your dreams and aspirations and your health. Because when you delve down inside you, you know there is a power inside you that can be brought out to help you either heal yourself or get whatever you want in life. When you rediscover yourself, you are in total alignment with the universal rhythm. When you align yourself, you feel your heart. Once you are very quiet, in a meditative state, you feel your heart, and your heart throbbing is the rhythm of the universe. You will just melt, you find yourself melting into the universe. So it is very important that you align yourself with the universal rhythm, and once that is done, then you can start communicating, you can start a dialogue with yourself or your higher self. And of course, once you are able to discover yourself, you have no fears. You do not fear anything because you know, you have the knowing that this is what is going to happen next, and that you need to be present here or not to be present there. You will just have that knowing. And of course, you will have the understanding of oneness of all creation. Every human being is connected to the other, to the trees, to the animals, to the flowers. It's one connection. And once you rediscover yourself or your higher self, you have the knowing and the understanding that we are all one. Now, what does the current educational system teach us? It teaches us to develop skills to be able to work for somebody else. Either you are a supervisor or you are supervised. You probably will start your life by being supervised, and then you grow up to be a supervisor, but you are serving a system. So you're either a servant, or you're dependent, or like I said, supervisors for a system. Now, it creates failure. The educational system creates failure, it creates segregation, it creates difference. So from a very young age, children are taught that you are a better student that one is a failed student. You have an A, and they have a F or a B. So you are different. When kids are up to 3, they don't see any difference. You put them all in a kindergarten, they play together, they're all very nice, and whether black, white, or orange, or yellow, or whatever, they are always playing together. But once they hit 4, 5, when the school system, that's when they go start, kindergarten, and then they start knowing the difference from age 4. And then they start asking questions like, why is your skin like this? Why is your hair like that? They ask the teacher, they ask their mothers, they ask their parents, and they are told stories that makes them realize that they are different from the other. And of course, the school system creates a lack of opportunity to develop own talents. By this I mean, children are put in a classroom and they are taught what to think, not how to think. I'll give you an example. You go to school and they tell you 1 + 1 = 2. So you are told what 1 + 1 is equal to. But you are not told, how can you get a 2? And then somebody will be like, yeah, when you take 3 from 5, then you get a 2. Or, when you take 8 and you take 6 out of it, then you get a 2. Or you add 1 orange plus another orange and you have a 2. There you have the child being taught how to do something, not what to think. So it's a system that creates children who are not good enough, because when a child is more inclined to art or literature, the school system tells you that you must pass mathematics before you go to high school or before you go to the university. So when I'm interested in art, I like to draw, or I like to write poetry and things like that, why should I go and study maths? Some children hate maths with a passion. But they are told, if you don't pass maths, then you can't go forward. So when you go to my country, you see a lot of brilliant students who have their passion, but totally crushed because they cannot continue their education because they failed in maths. And when the system does not have a different setup for those children, then you have those kids either selling tomatoes or pepper or whatever at the market, and they hate it with a passion. And they blame the system for it. So you have a group of people who grow up hating the system, not knowing what to do with themselves. We are all judged against a standard. Now, when you look at this, you will see a monkey, there's a bird, and then a monkey, penguin, elephant, a fish, and then a sea lion, and let's say a dog or a fox at the end there. And our educational system tells us that for a fair selection, everybody has to take the same exam. Please climb that tree. So, now the fish, how's it going to climb the tree? Now we know that everybody is born a genius. Everybody. We have our individual skills, individual potentials. But if a fish is judged by its ability to climb a tree, it will live the whole of its life thinking and believing that it is really stupid. This is Albert Einstein who said it. So something has to be done about the educational system. Now the consequences of what we've been taught in the past has produced people who come up with policies such as the war on drugs, the war on terror, the war on whatever it is that we know, trafficking and all sorts. But has that really gone down, or has it gone up? It has just produced more of what we are fighting against. Fight against poverty. For over 2 decades we've been fighting against poverty. And today, we know that over 800 million people are still living in poor conditions. They're hungry, uneducated, they lack health facilities, etc., etc. Why don't we think that once we have tried a certain method and it has not worked, let's try something else? But we keep on building on the system that is there. So it's just like you have a system which is not good, then we bring another system, we put it on top of it, and then we bring another, we put it on top of it. It doesn't work that way. And obviously, the last thing is to promote or create, when you turn on the TV, you see the news. It's death here and death there, bombings here and bombings there. Every 5 minutes on some news media, you have this information. So you get out of your house and you're like, oh, I'm afraid, oh my God, have you heard? The Syrians are being bombed and some people are being bombed into Stone Age. Can you imagine? These people are so wicked, they're so mean, and you have that going on in your head. And you're afraid. They have succeeded in making you afraid. They also tell you, oh, these Syrians are coming here, there's too many, we don't have resources, they're coming to take our jobs, they're coming to take our whatever it is that you have there, the social system, and there is not enough. So when you see somebody in the street, you're like, oh, is that a refugee? Yeah, they're coming to, deplete our resources, and you are afraid. And they have succeeded. It is time for a paradigm shift. You have to change your way of thinking. And to change your way of thinking, there are a few things that you need to do. Before I get to what you need to do, I'll just give you a few points here. When you change your paradigm shift, there will be to rediscover yourself and the purpose for which you came into this world. We didn't come into this world to go to kindergarten, go to school, pass exams, go to university, pass exams, get a master's degree or whatever, work, get a pension, and sit down and wait for death to come upon us. That is not the purpose for which we came here. If you sit down quietly and ask yourself, why was I here? Everybody came into this world with a specific gift to share with the world. And this is what we need to discover. We are all unique beings, like I said. We should be able to understand, and once we understand, of course, we will know that there are no dwindling resources we can always share, and we will always have more. So I advocate for meditation to be compulsory in all schools and all spheres of work. Everywhere, there must be time for meditation, because that is the only time that you will be listening to your body. And like we say, your body is the temple of God. And if you want to discover your higher self, you need to be still and know that the kingdom of God is within you. It's not out and about. Once you go running out and about, you will go without. Now, when you introduce meditation in preschools, children are very good. When you tell them, we are all born with angels, all of us. Everybody here has their angels sitting around you, left, right, back, front, above and below. Everybody. Some people feel it when they are sitting down. Some people see it. Some people hear it. It's up to you to develop the skill or the ability to connect. And once you have that connection, you're trying to find your angel? When you have that connection, then of course you have the knowing that this is what you're supposed to do, and that is what you're supposed to do. And this is how you need to share. And of course you will know that you are connected to everybody. This room is full of energy, and the energy is such that everybody's aura is just mixing and going in and out and happy, and so why don't we be happy? Why are we thinking that, oh, the other person is different, and it's not just this room, it's everywhere. When you go out, you need to connect, and the connection is from the heart. But you need to learn how. So, the knowledge or the knowing is within you. What you've been looking for outside there, running, looking for a job, looking for promotion, looking whatever you're looking for, it is within you. So you just have to sit still and look within you, and you will get the answer. My personal experience. I'm just going to give you some information about my personal experience, which is going to tell you that this is not just magic. It's not just talking. I've been looking for a missing puzzle in my life. This was from the age of 19. I just had this feeling that, I've been to church, I've been going all around the place looking for an answer to some question. I don't know what question exactly, but I just had the feeling that I could do something. What exactly, I had no idea. And I go to church and I want the pastor or the preacher to tell me what is missing, but I never got the answers. So it got to a point when I was around 34, I decided, okay, church is not for me, because I knew the Bible. I could read it from, the first page to the last page, and the explanations were not really very clear to me then. So I was like, okay, I can't continue going to church every day and listen to the same story every day throughout the year. So it was enough. I looked and looked, I didn't find, so I just stopped. And then one day, not too long ago, just a few years back, I stumbled upon meditation. Today, I practice meditation 3 times a day, at least. And this I do early morning. I had the habit of waking up at 7 o'clock to go to work. But then I said, okay, if I need to put time into meditation, then I'll get up earlier, just half an hour earlier. Wake up and go to the loo if I have to, and then sit quietly and just concentrate on my breathing, because that is what connects me to God. Without my breathing, I'm just a little body here. No life. So, connect to my breathing. Count my breathing. See how the breathing is going. Is it going okay? Too fast? Too slow? Or what? And every time I did meditation, there was something new. To the point that I can breathe and feel it here. You breathe in, and you feel it at the portions of your body that are not okay. And this, you are guided. That is, at the time you're sitting down, you're now ready to listen to God, which is within you. So what happens, it guides your breathing. And when you follow it, your breathing goes to your left, and then it goes to your right, and then it comes to your back, and you're like, oh. And I had a lot of, oh, really? Oh, that's very nice. Please, again. You can have that too. I acquired healing habits. At one point, I broke my arm, and it was dislocated actually. And I said, okay, do I need to go to hospital? And I said, no. I'm just going to do this. Concentrate and ask for the healing to go. And this arm, which I couldn't raise this way, I could, really. But it was so painful because, I was lying down, it's like, it tells me, lie down,